Hey guys, so the first rally we held was fantastic. About 50 people out on Parliament Hill on September 13th. I want to do a second rally, Take Canada Back rally on Saturday, November 15th. We need one more than ever. Canadians cannot withstand another year of the Carney government, another 1.5 million people allowed in the country. Billions of our dollars being wasted on so-called green initiatives. This woke DEI BS that Canadians are sick of. Make it a merit-based system. Stop hating Christians. You see Mark Miller talking about how the Bible is hate. Stop hating white men. We've had enough of it. Enough of an economy that's 7.1% unemployment rate, more likely like 10 or 11 once you consider all the people that have dropped out of the job situation whatsoever. 22% unemployment among young males. That is unheard of in a G7 country. Mark Carney continues to make himself rich. It's disgusting. Brookfield Asset Management is up about 48% since he was elected. And of the 600 companies he has an investment in, it's up an average of 35% or something. Carney is enriching himself. Brookfield Asset Management signs an $80 billion deal with the U.S. That stated goal is to make the U.S. the clean energy leader in the world at the same time as $63 billion worth of assets have fled Canada since Carney was elected. 1.6% drop in GDP. We know definitively that bringing immigrants in at this pace hurts us economically. This is not debatable. We have hundreds of years of statistics. What's happening right now in terms of our immigration levels is un-Canadian. It is hurting the Canadian people. There is no argument otherwise. To bring in 1.5 million people when never has the percentage of Canadians against more immigrants coming in been higher is undemocratic. There's no other way to define it. It's undemocratic. Carney's budget plans on putting $800 million into women's and LGBTQ issues. Enough of a government that plays identity politics. They talk about picking women, LGBTQ, Indigenous. Let's just go back to our merit-based society that made Western civilization the best civilization in human history. A society that, unlike every other society that has ever existed, us peasants, us plebs are actually allowed to voice our opinion. They are going at right now, the Liberal Party of Canada is attacking Canadians' most fundamental freedom, the fundamental freedoms of free speech. If you are not allowed to speak your mind, you are a slave. If you don't have a tongue, if you are not allowed to say how you think about things, you are a slave. And with Bills C9 and C8, which would give the Canadian government the ability to unilaterally remove your internet service as a Canadian, as well as expanding the definition of hate speech to include so-called fomentation of detestation and vilification, emotions that Canadians know are going to be abused against conservative Canadians. I've already been banned from TikTok with 30,000 followers. You get shadow banned like crazy in Canada if you don't toe the company Liberal line on immigration, on wokeness, on pointing out the fact that it's ridiculous that you can't apply for a job in this country without it asking you whether you're Indigenous, whether you're a woman, whether you're disabled. The number of jobs that you now see in Canada where it explicitly states that white men are not eligible to apply is shocking in a country with 22% unemployment among young men. There is absolutely zero reason for Canada's economy to be in the state that it is. It's because of these green initiatives that even Bill Gates came out the other day and said that this global warming worry that it's right at our doorstep, the same thing they've been saying for the past 50 years, is overblown. And this is Bill Gates. This is a guy who's been leading the call on global warming for how many decades, saying that it's overstated. And this is what Carney is basing the entire Canadian economy on. Still refusing to export LNG, still refusing to export oil. When Germany, when Japan, when China, our Olaf Scholz from Germany was literally in Canada absolutely begging us to export our liquefied natural gas, which is 50% cleaner than what they use in Germany. But we refuse because Carney and the Liberals can't profit off it. It is so blatantly obvious. Carney was caught on a call a couple weeks ago, before he was elected prime minister, about a year before he was elected prime minister, saying, oh, we don't mention this very much, but at Brookfield Asset Management, we also are getting incredibly wealthy off these green initiatives. This green stuff is all a grift to get themselves rich as hell. It's not about saving the planet. Canada only emits between 1.5% and 2% of the total CO2 that it's emitted worldwide, between 1.5% and 2%. China, on the other hand, emits 33%. If we actually wanted to make an impact on the environment, undoubtedly what Canadians would do would be to export our LNG to China. They account for 1/3 of total global emissions, 33%. If we were to export our LNG, which is 50% cleaner than coal, that's where Canada could make a real dent. But for Carney and the Liberal Party of Canada, it's about getting themselves rich as hell. Does anybody ask how Justin Trudeau, with his green slush fund, which was corrupt as hell, his net worth went from something like 2 million to now it's estimated over 300 million in the past decade? Has anybody dug into his financials? The Prime Minister makes something like 400 grand a year. How is it possible that this man's net worth went to nearly $350 million except for corruption? There's no doubt about it. It was corruption. This whole green thing is a total grift to get the Liberals rich. The Liberals are, as Justin Trudeau said, Canada is a post-national state. They don't believe in Canadian nationalism. They don't believe in Canadian pride. It's this woke utopian blank slateism where inviting 100,000 people into the country from Afghanistan and Syria, we're going to be the exact same country. It's ridiculous. It's a talking point that's been disproven time and time again. Even liberals like Robert Putnam, Barack Obama have pointed to the fact that there's study after study after study claiming that proves that mass migration hurts you both culturally as well as economically. And we're seeing that in Canada as extremely as anywhere in the world. The only place that's seeing it worse right now is the UK, and the UK is a total mess. If you follow what's going on in the UK, there are no-go zones right now, and that is what is to come in Canada, and we know it because their immigration has been even more extreme than what we've seen here. And the country has totally, rapidly transformed. If you track what's going on in London, what's going on in Liverpool, what's going on in so many different areas, there are now many no-go zones. There are areas with Sharia law. There are 82 Sharia courts in the country. We are proud Canadians, proud of our fundamental values, our right to speak our mind, our right to brave. They act like they're colonialists, the incredible settlers that built this civilization. There's no comparison between the settlers who showed up hundreds of years ago onto totally undeveloped lands versus what Canada is now. And also the number of people coming in is incomparable. 26.4% of all Canadians are first generation. It's insanity. It has never been this way in Canada. They say that, Canada has always welcomed immigrants, not at this rate and not from this many different areas of the world. So looking to set up a rally, Take Canada Back rally, make our voices heard. Let's demand an election as soon as possible. Saturday, November 15th. Let me know if you're interested. Drop a note. Can't wait to see everybody out there. Please like, share, subscribe, join, become a member, donate, grab some gear. Really appreciate everybody's supports. We're going to take Canada back.